Let's queer up gay culture. Elon Musk's relationship with his trans daughter continues to fall apart. Elon Musk has spoken out about his painful estrangement from his transgender daughter, calling her a communist and blaming her politics on the expensive private high school she attended. Musk's now 19-year-old child legally changed her gender to female last year. She changed her name to Vivian Jenna Wilson, saying in court filings that she no longer wishes to be related to the billionaire Tesla CEO in any way. In an excerpt from his upcoming biography published by the Wall Street Journal, author Walter Isaacson wrote that Musk's rift with Vivian pained him more than anything in his life since the infant death of his firstborn child, Nevada, who died just 10 weeks after the birth due to sudden infant death syndrome. According to the author, the billionaire was generally optimistic when he first learned of his child's transition, but things changed when Vivian, who also goes by Jenna, began expressing extreme Marxist views and declared her intention to sever all ties. Musk told the author, quote, "She went beyond socialism to being a full communist and thinking that anyone rich is evil," end quote. Musk blamed Crossroads, the private K-12 school in Santa Monica, for this. The biographer reveals that Musk's painful rift with Vivian is partly responsible for the billionaire's ongoing obsession with woke ideology, which he views as a threat to human civilization. Mm-hmm. And it seems that Musk is refusing to take any responsibility in the upbringing of his child. Maybe the daughter was exposed to all of his ongoings and realized, oh, this is bad. This is all not good. I should separate myself from this. But Musk refuses to acknowledge that. He's saying, it was the school. It was the songs they play on the radio nowadays. She's always on her phone, but never like, oh, the parenting that I implemented on my child resulted in a free thinker who's now deciding, hey, the shit that I do, which isn't cool, isn't cool.
She's talked about his absence so much in her life growing up.
And maybe she decided, oh yeah, maybe it's not great that my grandpa, employed slaves or not employed, but had slavery and in his emerald mines, And it's funny, I grew up down the street from that school and know plenty of kids went there. I don't think that they're teaching the most...
Karl Marx.
No, probably not, but I think it's interesting too when it comes to a capitalist that he would have been willing to maybe have the conversation about her being trans and still involving her in his life, but drew the line at, oh, no, she wants to tax me. Mm-hmm. That's where I draw the line.
Ooh, that's a powerful observation.
The article even mentions Musk's obsession with woke culture, right? So I wonder what the contours of her views are, because it seems to me that he's just obsessed. Anything that remotely resembles woke culture, he's going to lash out. And to your point about I cannot imagine a private school in Santa Monica, of all places, is necessarily the breeding ground for Marxist ideology. But what do I know?
That's where all the actors and actresses send their kids. That's what
to that school.
Yeah, that's what Crossroads is.
Yeah,
so.
Crossroads is that school. Yeah. What's interesting to me? I'm going to have a brick wall fall on me. I like Elon Musk, but I dislike almost everything that Elon Musk does and says now. There's an Elon Musk of 5 years ago, which is different than the Elon Musk of 10 years ago, which is definitely different than the Elon Musk today. Twitter, I think, basically drove him insane because he clinically thought, I can master any problem. If I can put somebody on Mars, if I can put a Tesla on the moon, or I can create the most spectacular machine built in the 21st century, which I think a Model S is, I can do anything. And he believes all of his publicity PR department. You can't manage your child that way. Mars and the moon and your S that you have developed does not have a component of human in it. The other thing that I think is interesting is I watched him on Bill Maher, for example, and I thought so much of what he said was so interesting to me. And the thing that's disappointing about this story is, when did he give up his commitment to ultimate free speech? He bought and spent $40 billion on Twitter, saying Twitter was run wrong because they did not unconditionally commit to free speech. His daughter comes along and, to your point about trans, says, the taxing point is hilarious that you make, but at the end of the day, even if she embraces Karl Marx and Marxist ideology, so what? A free society has a place to allow all kinds of free expression, which is what he's told us over and over and over he believes.
I do want to say, I want to argue with you just a tiny bit,
Please,
Al.
please.
So I argue that Elon Musk did not do any of the things that you just mentioned.
Credit for.
He bought a company. He wanted to turn PayPal into X back in the day, and they wouldn't let him. It didn't work. Blah blah blah. I think he just has an obsession of styling himself as Iron Man. You know, he wants to be seen as that person. He didn't invent things. He didn't invent Tesla. He just bought the rights to say he did. So, I mean, I think we're seeing a man-child. Well, that's not even. That's insulting to children.
He's
my,
an egomaniac.
My own 5-year-old has a better self-awareness, but you know, I think he's doing a lot of damage to all aspects of our society, and I think this is just evidence. Maybe he should focus on the children he has.
To the point, you're a parent here at the table. To the point of what has happened with her, why do you imagine he just doesn't sit down and say, you know, before we start, I'm pretty much going to tell you I disagree with every single thing that's going to come out of your mouth, but I will defend every single thing coming out of your mouth, which is ultimately what he has said 1,000 different times to everyone on the planet. Why couldn't he do that to her, do you think?
Well, he didn't believe it in the first place. He doesn't mean it. Free speech, he blocks people who make fun of him. Like, it's not about free speech. It's never been about free speech. It's what is it? Free for me, not for thee, or however the saying goes. And I think we're seeing. I can't possibly understand a person like Elon Musk, but it seems like he doesn't have compassion for his daughter.
He's a true egomaniac, and more than that, he's a typical man. I think that's where we need to start at. He's a typical...
and you're talking about toxic masculinity.
I'm talking about toxic masculinity. I love men, clearly. I am one most of the time. But he has access and privilege to where, with his money, he was able to purchase things and make it in his own vision. And if it doesn't fit that way, then it is... I'm not going to say evil. It is just... it has no proper standing, much like his child.
Yeah.
She has transitioned. She has developed her own thoughts and opinions on his actions and the world as a whole, which is sort of the goal as what you want as a parent, right? You want like a free-thinking child to be who they are.
I don't agree with you.
Right.
Rah that you're
and
doing.
he like live blocked his daughter.
Yeah.
Like IRL. So yeah, I think he is a egomaniac, Elon Musk.
Yeah. Keep watching the only television news in the world from our LGBTQ+ community and stay informed on everything that is important for and about our diverse LGBTQ+ community.